If you are a man in your prime and you're a beginner and you're going out looking for lessons in the martial arts, and I'm going to tell you now, I don't think it's just MMA that does this, because the direct example I have from personal experience, it wasn't an MMA teacher that did this. And this was way back in the day before MMA was as hot as it is at the time of this recording. So, if you're a man, you're a beginner who's looking for lessons, you go to a club, especially on the first day, if it's the first day of lessons, and you think, man, these people are like kind of wailing on me kind of hard. Choke me out a little quick or whatever. I wonder if it seems like they trying to intimidate me. Some trying to like dominate me. I feel like they're trying to dominate me instead of really trying to teach me. I mean, it's trying to hurt me here, trying to scare me or intimidate me or something. Nah. I'm just tripping. It's my imagination. They're not really doing that. I mean, this is just how it is, and I just gotta man up. Maybe they just want to see what I'm made of. And I just need to knuckle down. I just need to man up. Yeah, I'm tripping. I'm being a wimp. You're not being a wimp. I don't care if you complain to them. Hey, man, that was a little too intense. I'm just starting off here. And they tell you, oh, you're being a wimp. You're not being a wimp. You are not being a wimp. It's them. And the only justifiable student abuse that is not even really justifiable there. The only way I could understand somebody lumping on a beginner is if this is some person who is coming in there, they think they can beat you, and they're trying to challenge you on the low. Slicky time, what I mean is, they want to come in there and prove to themselves that they're better than you, but they don't want to come right out and issue you a challenge. Or they do come right out and issue you a challenge. But whatever it is, that this person is trying to challenge the instructor. If you're trying to come in there and challenge the instructor because you think you know more than the people coaching and teaching the class, and they let you have it, fine, you deserve that. But if you're actually coming in there, humbling yourself to take lessons, and after all, especially when you're an adult and you're paying, why would you go pay to take lessons from someone that you cannot beat? I mean, that you can beat. That doesn't make any sense. I mean, even if you can beat them, the only way would be that, yeah, maybe you can beat them physically because they're not in good health anymore, but their coaching ability is going to make you a much better artist. Of course. So, long story short, guys, it's not you, it's them. There are people who will use their position and their know-how to beat on some guy that's in his prime. Now, I know what you're thinking. Some of you are going to think that it just happened because you're black and the person may not have been black, or even if they were black, it's racism and they're just being racist towards you. I don't think it's just racism. Even if there is some racism and whatever this could happen, it's more of a primal, like, I want to be the alpha male dominant guy type thing. They just want to dominate you. Now, the one direct experience I have, and this was way back in the day, before MMA was MMA, right? So, if anything, if you want to pin it on a camp, you could pin it on traditional, but I'm sure people being who they are, it's not just traditional people. Okay? I know human beings. The dude, I was literally just holding the shield, right? I was holding the shield and stuff up for him, and he was just wailing on it, right? And I had said that I was a beginner And I wanted to, just come and learn from this guy. So he wanted to get the giggles and admirations of the young girls that were there, because there was a lot of attractive young women in that particular group. Not too many men. Now, you know what comes to me now, which is really funny? I think this is one of the reasons, not the only reason, but why I laughed so hard at that Key and Peele Key and Peele skit where they had Doug Art's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Even though when this happened to me, it wasn't BJJ. Where they had, there are many levels to Doug Art's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And if you survive, you can make it to our advanced class. And the guy disappears. He's like, there's like one guy in there who's bigger than the instructor. And then in the advanced class, he disappears. Yeah, I think it's a lot of Doug Arts out there. I'm not trying to trash anybody in particular. That's why I'm not mentioning the one person who I know did this with me. And if anybody wants to try to start something, don't look on my website and see who it is, because he does not have a link. I did not link to him. Well, I'm not going to link to anybody I think is bad. So, nope, you're never going to find out who it is unless you know him personally. If he's even still teaching, which I doubt. So anyway, yes, young men. They're trying to intimidate you. They're trying to punk you. They are trying to use you for target practice. I call it wife beating. Because to me, I don't care if it's somebody that's bigger than you are or a lot younger than you are. If you know your technique is that much better than theirs and you bully them, you're as bad as a man who beats his wife. That's why I call it wife beating. I've always called that wife beating. And people say, you wrong. You trying to make fun of domestic violence. I'm not trying to make fun of domestic violence. I think when you use the gift that God gave you to be able to learn a martial art, and what your teachers have shared with you, because they didn't have to share it with you. They took the time to make you a martial artist, and you, especially if you're an instructor, and then you turn around and you're just wailing on some young guy or anybody just to get the giggles of the girls that are around. You're as bad as a dude that beats his wife. I'm sorry, you are. You're as bad as a dude that beats his wife. The only time I won't call it wife beating is if the guy was coming in there to deliberately challenge the teacher. If he came and openly said, I challenge you, like it's some kind of old kung fu flick. Or, which I've seen some people try to do with me on at least 2 occasions, is they think they bad and they want to come in there and show some Taekwondo people how good a grappler they are, or just how marvelous they are at fighting. I've only had one. I got one challenge in the park once, and I had 2 people before try to come in there and show me how marvelous they are. And in all 3 instances, I did not go out of my way to hurt the person. I didn't go out of my way to humiliate the person either. You don't need to do that. Because if you're that much better than they are, it's going to be apparent. You know what I liked? I liked when I would be sparring with a more experienced person and or a high-ranked person, and they would just show me by what they did, or even if they made me tap or whatever, the way they did it, they just showed me. If I really wanted to clean your clock, I could have, but I didn't. That made me go, man, it motivated me to want to be better. And not feel like abused after it either. So, to you guys out there, if you're between the ages of 18 to 35, you go to a class, especially if it's the first day, that's a dead giveaway. If it's within the first day or even within the first month or so, if you got an inkling that this person is just trying to humiliate me and beat up on me, when you start going, but am I, do I, and you know you've been doing nothing but showing the utmost respect, do I need, is it just, am I, if you start doing that, nah, it's not you, it's them. And even if they tell you you're a wimp, you're just being a wimp, you are not being a wimp. You're not being a wimp. You're not too soft. They are bullying you. And you have two choices. You can stay or you can go. And it's up to you. I'm not going to tell you to stay or go. That's your decision because you are an adult. Because, at the end of the day, as another YouTuber likes to say, it is what it is.